In today's video, we are going to explore best Haruki Murakami quotes about love, hurts and healing. Let's get started. You've already decided what you're going to do, and all that's left is to set the wheels in motion. I mean, it's your life. Basically, you gotta go with what you think is right. Find me now. Before someone else does. If you can love someone with your whole heart, even one person, then there's salvation in life. Even if you can't get together with that person. Loving somebody, wanting more than anything, it's all a new experience. The same with having somebody want me. From my own experience, when someone is trying very hard to get something, they don't. And when they're running away from something as hard as they can, it usually catches up with them. In the spring of her 22nd year, Sumire fell in love for the first time in her life. An intense love, a veritable tornado sweeping across the plains, flattening everything in its path, tossing things up in the air, ripping them to shreds, crushing them to bits. Just by looking at that happy smile, you can trace the beautiful path that a contented heart must follow. Like a firefly's glow that persists long after it's disappeared into the darkness. Anyone who falls in love is searching for the missing pieces of themselves. So anyone who's in love gets sad when they think of their lover. It's like stepping back inside a room you have fond memories of, one you haven't seen in a long time. A person learns how to love himself through the simple acts of loving and being loved by someone else. Nobody can help you. That's what love's all about. You're the one having these wonderful feelings, but you have to go it alone as you wander through the dark. Your mind and body have to bear it all. All by yourself. Maybe the simple truth would do. Good morning. You are the 100% perfect girl for me. When you fall in love, the natural thing to do is give yourself to it. That's what I think. It's just a form of sincerity. Loving another person is a wonderful thing, and if that love is sincere, no one ends up tossed into a labyrinth. You have to have more faith in yourself. Falling in love is always a pretty crazy thing. It might appear out of the blue and just grab you. Who knows, maybe even tomorrow. Love can rebuild the world, they say, so everything's possible when it comes to love. Pure love for another person, and what people call romantic love, are two different things. Pure love doesn't manipulate the relationship to one's advantage, but romantic love is different. Romantic love contains other elements, the desire to be loved by the other person, for instance. If purely loving another was enough, you wouldn't suffer because of unrequited love. As long as the other person was happy, there wouldn't be any need to suffer because you weren't being loved in return. What makes people suffer is the desire to be loved by another person. So I decided that romantic love and pure love for a person are not the same. And that by following this you could lessen the pain of unrequited love. I'm tired of living unable to love anyone. I don't have a single friend, not one. And, worst of all, I can't even love myself. Why is that? Why can't I love myself? It's because I can't love anyone else. A person learns how to love himself through the simple acts of loving and being loved by someone else. Do you understand what I am saying? A person who is incapable of loving another cannot properly love himself. But it's not a good idea to make decisions so soon. There's no such thing as absolutes. I want to write stories that are different from the ones I've written so far. I want to write about people who dream and wait for the night to end, who long for the light so they can hold the ones they love. I was always hungry for love. Just once, I wanted to know what it was like to get my fill of it, but to be fed so much love I couldn't take anymore. Just once. The spread of the flames was soft and gentle, like an expert caress, with nothing rough or hurried about it. Their only purpose was to warm people's hearts. You're in love with a girl who is no more, jealous of a boy who's gone forever. Even so, this emotion you're feeling is more real, and more intensely painful, than anything you've ever felt before. And there's no way out. No possibility of finding an exit. But there's one thing missing, that lovely, innocent smile. She still smiles from time to time, definitely a charming smile, but it's always limited somehow, a smile that never goes beyond the moment. A high, invisible wall surrounds her, holding people at arm's length. Spend your money on the things money can buy. Spend your time on the things money can't buy. Emotional hurt is the price a person has to pay in order to be independent. Why do people have to be this lonely? What's the point of it all? Millions of people in this world, all of them yearning, looking to others to satisfy them, yet isolating themselves. Why? Was the earth put here just to nourish human loneliness? Loneliness becomes an acid that eats away at you. Face it, I remind myself, there are tons of things you don't have a clue about. What a terrible thing it is to wound someone you really care for, and to do it so unconsciously. If I have left a wound inside you, it is not just your wound, but mine as well. You were hurt badly, and those scars will be with you forever. I feel sorry for you, I really do. But think of it like this, it's not too late to recover. You're young, you're tough. You're adaptable. You can patch up your wounds, lift up your head and move on. We cannot simply sit and stare at our wounds forever. We must stand up and move on to the next action. One heart is not connected to another through harmony alone. They are, instead, linked deeply through their wounds. Pain linked to pain, fragility to fragility. There is no silence without a cry of grief, no forgiveness without bloodshed, no acceptance without a passage through acute loss. That is what lies at the root of true harmony. You can keep as quiet as you like, but one of these days somebody is going to find you. I, too, remember that feeling. You are caught between all that was and all that must be. You feel lost. Now all you can do is wait. It must be hard for you, but there is a right time for everything. Like the ebb and flow of tides. No one can do anything to change them. When it is time to wait, you must wait. As time goes on, you'll understand. What lasts, lasts. What doesn't, doesn't. Time solves most things. And what time can't solve, you have to solve yourself. We convince ourselves that we know the other person well, but do we really know anything important about anyone? The most painful thing is losing yourself in the process of loving someone too much. You can hide memories, but you can't erase the history that produced them. Memories warm you up from the inside. But they also tear you apart. But still, no matter how much time passes, no matter what takes place in the interim, there are some things we can never assign to oblivion, memories we can never rub away. They remain with us forever, like a touchstone. Words don't come out when you're hurt that deeply. The right words always seem to come too late. Music has that power to revive memories, sometimes so intensely that they hurt. When your feelings build up and harden and die inside, then you're in big trouble. My point is that it's really hard for people to live their lives alone. This is one more piece of advice I have for you: don't get impatient. Even if things are so tangled up you can't do anything, don't get desperate or blow a fuse and start yanking on one particular thread before it's ready to come undone. You have to figure it's going to be a long process and that you'll work on things slowly, one at a time. What happens when people open their hearts? They get better. Strength itself becomes your morality. Please remember, things are not what they seem. Individual errors in judgment can usually be corrected. As long as you have the courage to admit mistakes, things can be turned around. But intolerant, narrow minds with no imagination are like parasites that transform the host, change form, and continue to thrive. You build up relationships like that one after another, and before you know it, you have meaning. The more connections, the deeper the meaning. Not that running away's going to solve everything. No matter how far you run. Distance might not solve anything. Never let fear and stupid pride make you lose someone who's precious to you. Please let us know your favorite quotes from these best Haruki Murakami quotes about love, hurts and healing in the comments section. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.